Getting used to reframe or reconstruct your problems in the N3C language will allow you to come up with better goals. And now we're going to be talking about goals. In the SSLD program, you will be learning to relate almost everything you do with the needs to be addressed. So in any kind of goal setting to deal with an emerging issue or problem or challenge in life, you always ask the question of what needs to be addressed. So if I am suffering or struggling with a problem, what I'm asking yourself is like, what needs are important? How are those needs being affected? Or how are the pathways to gratifying those needs affected by the problem? And I have to know what are the needs to be addressed. Because if you do not do that, very often people get carried away or distracted by the problem, and we spend a lot of time thinking about and reacting to options or possibilities or realities that are not really helpful because it doesn't lead to addressing our needs. So it is always important to have a very clear understanding of what needs are being threatened, what needs are not being met, and how we're going to move to a better place so that we will be capable of meeting those needs again. It can be the need for pleasure, the need for self-esteem, the need for security, the need for accomplishment, the need for like material resources like income, housing, what have you, right? Stay focused. And we have already said that, you have to pay attention to the circumstances. And remember, when you're experiencing a problem, very often we're looking at the negative aspects, the threats, the barriers. But we also want you to pay attention to the opportunities and the resources that are available in your set of circumstances that sometimes people, because of the negative emotion that are triggered by the problem, they may tend to overlook. So again, remember, even in the worst set of circumstances, there are always opportunities, resources, support, or other possibilities around you. So stay open and be vigilant, like look out for those positive things in your environment, in your circumstances. When we look at characteristics, is that like we find that like sometimes recommend certain strategies or solutions to people as if everyone is the same. We understand that not everyone is the same. You have your own unique individual characteristics. You may have your own values, you may have your own preferences, which can include, and legitimately, I would argue, aesthetic preferences. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, it doesn't appeal to me. It is not me. I'm sort of like compromising myself or my integrity if I do that. So remember all those personal characteristics, including your belief system, your value system, your aesthetic preferences, are important, and you should take those into account. But sometimes, obviously, there are trade-offs, and we have to make certain compromises or concessions, but you make those with the full awareness, again, of your overall N3C picture. So the capacity, it is important. We have to realize that no matter how defeated, frustrated we are, we always have capacity that can be developed. That is our potential. And what SSLD does is to optimize your potential. We will try to generate or create strategies that are conducive to growth, to development. And in some cases, it will allow some of us to experience transcendence, going beyond our limited sense of reality, go beyond what we are used to go beyond what we are familiar with. And sometimes we may even be happily surprised that we can actually go beyond our initial imagination of things. Okay, So let us go to look at what a good goal in SSLD looks like, right? So simply put, a good goal within the SSLD model is a goal that will address your needs directly and effectively. So when your goal is achieved, your underlying needs are met. A good goal is a goal that is like compatible with your given set of circumstances. And it is also the most advisable articulation, meaning that you have considered, like what we mentioned in the last slide, the opportunities, the barriers, but we also looked at the difficulties, but also the resources that are available. So you are making the best of what is possible within any given set of circumstances and taking advantage of all the positive elements and factors that you can find in your given set of circumstances. And as we already said, right, a good goal in SSLD is something that is compatible with your personal characteristics, with who you are, what you stand for, what your preferred way of doing things, and what you will feel good about being yourself, right? So it is important for us to understand that maybe sometimes you have to make certain concessions and compromises. We already said that, but we want you to make those with due consideration of your overall situation in this N3C analysis. And remember, we're not only looking for solutions, because there is always a lesson or more to be learned in whatever challenge or problems that life gives us. And we will actually come out of the process being a better person, because we will learn new things, we will acquire new skills, we are giving ourselves more choice, and we will develop more options. So this is an inherently empowering process. When we do SSLD, this is like what happens. And when we are successful in coming at a problem using the SSLD model, we will end up being better off than where we start, because we do not only solve the problem, we also learn new skills and knowledge. We also become a person with like more resources. We become more flexible. We can become better prepared to take on the next challenge in life.